Thinking of investing, working, or starting a business in the cannabis industry? We've got you covered right here on Plant Problems. Hosted by Tony Frischknecht, Plant Problems takes a different approach to cannabis than what you're seeing and hearing from the mainstream media. Come along with Tony and be in the know about how to invest, work, or start a cannabis business. Let's get the show started with your host, Tony Frischknecht.
Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Plant Problems. Thanks again so much for joining me today. It's always exciting here in the cannabis world, and I'm hoping I can keep some of you guys up to speed where your lives are just spinning around and you're just trying to make some investment happen and also make your business really thrive. It takes an amazing amount of focus to be successful in the cannabis industry for so many reasons. One of the things that I want to share with you guys today is some interesting news that I came across. This was actually a recent court case that happened due to the PPP loans that were given out back in March. You know, as small business owners, it's a challenge every day. But one of the things that becomes extremely frustrating, especially for us cannabis folks, is, we pay all these taxes into the federal government, into our state. And when it comes time to, need help, we're companies too. And there's many companies out there that are struggling over the last 6 months. And, I feel for some of you guys that are out there just trying to make it happen. I know we've seen definitely some huge growth in many areas where cannabis has been deemed essential, which is fantastic. I know that back east there are a few states that aren't so lucky, Massachusetts and New Jersey and some other ones. So, I hope you guys, well, I know you guys are making it happen. But if there had been some available help like this PPP loan that so many other businesses were able to take advantage of and so many other people were, some of you may be in a better place today or may still be in business. So it is unfortunate part of being an entrepreneur is failing is one of those things that happens to all of us. With that said, I want to talk about this case. It's Diamond Club versus the Small Business Administration. A group of around 30 different businesses got together and they sued for a temporary injunction at the end of April, which was the time when everybody was panicking. They were refused any type of PPP loans, and there were only two things that you had to be able to prove to be able to apply for a PPP loan, which is, one, you had to be a legal business, and secondly, you had to be a business with less than 500 employees, which there are hundreds of those, thousands of those out there. In fact, these companies went and talked to their local lenders, and their local lenders refused to even process their application. Their SBA said that they were in full compliant to their rules and regulations, and that the SBA doesn't make any loans to prudent sexual nature businesses. Yeah. So when I read through this case, they had stated, of course, that they weren't lending to clubs such as gentlemen's clubs, live entertainment, dancers, which has been in their rules of lending for a long time. They also just came out with an SOP which was enacted in 2019, stating these same things in their regulations that they would not lend. However, COVID is extremely out of the ordinary. Congress provided temporary paycheck support to all Americans employed by all small businesses. All small businesses, okay? There was no disfavoring happening because their point was we need to make sure everybody is helped. Well, the Small Business Administration decided to take it upon themselves and revert back to their old rules and stopping them from getting any of these loans. Now, here's the great part about this. They sued, the courts agreed, and they actually got the injunction. And it was granted May 11th, 2020 at 5 Eastern PM. So it happened. However, I do not know how many of these companies were able to receive the money from the loans because as everybody knows, or if some of you don't, there was only so much money given out. I think they had given out, it was like close to 700 million was given to the SBA to lend out. They are discriminating against other companies. As cannabis, you guys have been discriminated against since the beginning. The reason why I bring this case up is not because I know if they got the income, but the potential for a lockdown again could happen. Okay, and these guys got together in their groups. I said around 30. It was 33 actually total, and all of them had issues, but they all got on one lawsuit and were able to push this through pretty quickly. Like I said, however, timing of the essence of the money that's going to be available. I don't know if they were successful in gaining it, but with the idea that there could be a potential second lockdown, some of you cannabis businesses may want to start talking in some of your association groups, anywhere where you guys have a group of business owners, dispensary owners, of course, extraction companies, delivery services. All you guys should be getting together because if this does happen, I would start talking to attorneys now just to kind of get your ducks in a row a little bit, because if you can actually if you can get to this action and you're able to be successful, it could save some of your guys' lives flat out. This is something that I hope the Cannabis Podcast Network is talking about right now. I haven't heard much about this. Like I said, the story, it wasn't a story, but this case I just was made aware of last week and started reading about it. And we have so many struggling businesses out there right now that this could be saving some of your guys' lives. California marijuana industry has challenges like crazy. They're one of the largest states that has marijuana legalization in place. So California, please look to your associations, look to your groups, start talking about this. And I know it's far-fetched, but we're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars that you guys could access. The tough part about this whole thing is that it's not constitutional. They're allowing for all small businesses. If that's the case, and they come out with this again, you're looking at, I know they're doing a stimulus, but if they do a second lockdown, I would imagine they're going to do something similar to the PPP again. And what's going to happen is you're going to get ousted on this again. So I take a listen to this, talk to your attorney about it. Just spend 20 minutes to 30 minutes on this and dig into it a little bit deeper. But there were only 2 stipulations, and I'll say them again, for these dispensary owners that are on a go. I know it's hard to catch, but one is it's for all small businesses. And the only second stipulation is you have to have less than 500 employees. Thousands of you guys out there have this. So take advantage of this situation now before happens. Hey, let's just say it doesn't happen. Okay, let's say everything is good through Christmas, and then all of a sudden lockdown is talked about, and it doesn't happen. What did you miss out on? 30, 40 minutes of your life? It's hardly anything. However, if you have something in place and you have some people that you've been discussing this with, you guys can hit the ground running. You're able to file a temporary injunction against the SBA, and you can get, the idea is, of course, you can get a bunch of you in all in a row. And this is the thing that was in the case that I know. It didn't retroactively help anybody else outside this case. Okay, these guys directly that were involved in the lawsuit were the only ones helped by it. So keep that in mind too. So take any advantage that you can take right now. Pretty soon, I don't know when it is. I talked to some folks yesterday, and we were discussing on an innovation summit conference, and I was fortunate enough to be on that. And we were discussing the growth and the slow growth of us getting to legalization. We believe that it's worked very well for the U.S. A lot of us have a good base for our businesses, and it's allowed us to really create a solid foundation for growth. What I'm saying is that we're almost there. We are this close. We're so close. We've got an election coming up. It's a huge deal. Fortunately, I don't think anybody's really concerned about cannabis right now, which is awesome for us. We're going to be able to push through. But being able to see little ideas like this and taking them and taking an advantage of what you see, what worked for other people, it is massive for you guys and your survival. So, guys, I want to thank you guys for listening in today. And I hope you're able to take some of this information and really use it to help your business, because that's what I'm here to do for you guys. I love you guys. I love sharing as much as I can. Please reach out to me at plantproblem.com. Of course, I'm all over social media too, so you can touch base with me there. And I want to wish, all the cannabis people out there that are pushing hard and taking and running with the ball, the best today and moving forward into 2021. So thanks so much for listening today, guys, and I will catch up with you next time.
You've just listened to another insightful episode of Plant Problems. If you like what you heard so far, don't forget to tell your friends and colleagues. For additional resources or to leave a review, head over to plantproblem.com. Join us again next week on Plant Problems with Tony Frischknecht. We look forward to having conversations with you as we go along this journey.